I've seen many instances of people online that somehow have gotten the idea in their head that renewables are free or that they will become free. Here's an example right here of a person that thinks that someday renewables will give us free energy. And it's true, the sunlight is free, but the infrastructure to convert that into electricity is not free. And not only is it not free, it's not renewable. And not only is it not renewable, it will never be renewable. I mean, you could recycle it, but then there's a cost to that. There's a certain amount of energy that's going to be required to recycle it. And to make matters worse is that renewables are low energy density. And that just really exacerbates the whole thing, because if it's low energy density, that means you need a lot of materials to get a little bit of energy, as opposed to nuclear, like fusion or fission, where you only need a little bit of materials to make a massive amount of energy. And so that's really where the rubber hits the road, is how much money and time and energy is going to be required to produce usable energy. And unless you're using high energy density sources, the environmental impact is huge. And the cost, the long-term costs for having something that's low energy density, is eventually they're going to have to be paid. Now, historically in the United States, it's been done through subsidies, but eventually we're going to decide, we need to quit subsidizing renewables. And apparently the current administration is going down that path. But that doesn't change the physics. The physics are low energy density sources have a large environmental impact. And eventually you're going to have to pay the cost for that. Now, we've been ignoring that by, offloading that to China, but eventually China's going to say, I don't like the environmental impact of all the mining and milling and manufacturing that's required to provide renewable energy. And the bottom line is that renewable energy is not renewable if you factor in the infrastructure that's required to convert that into electricity. In fact, then basically nothing becomes renewable, because you can always need some kind of machinery, at least with today's technology, some kind of infrastructure that's not renewable. You can recycle it, but that takes more energy, which again comes back to energy density. You don't want to have a massive amount of recycling energy to be able to recycle that to only get a little bit of usable energy back. You want high energy density sources so that recycling becomes attractive, because that's going to require more energy. And where's that energy and money and time going to come from? It's got to come from somewhere. So eventually you're going to have to pay the fiddler, and the best way to go, just based on the physics, is high energy density. Pretty much as simple as that. So if you don't like the physics, I'm sorry, but the physics are real, and energy has a cost. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video, learned something, and you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.